Now, what we have here is something very, very special indeed. Now, disregarding the Z, DD has two top-end woofer lines. You have the 99 and you have the 95. The difference between those two lines is the 99 has a 4-inch voice coil and the 95 has a 3-inch voice coil. They both use DD's top-end stuff, top-end coils, top-end soft parts, everything that they can ever do has been thrown into these two series of woofer. This is the creme de la creme of the 9500 series. This is a 12-inch. So this has an absolutely stonking huge motor, bigger than the I series. This is the 95J. So they have gone all out and made the motor even bigger. This is so heavy. You will not believe. It is massive. You've got cooling vents in there. It is a huge solid lump of ferrite magnet. Very, very high flux, nice tight coil gap. All of this magnetic flux is being driven straight into this coil here. Now the coil that DD used on the 9500 series is actually the same coil which goes into the Z woofer. What I mean by saying that they put everything they can into these woofers, literally with DD's top end line, there is no difference in power really. It just depends on your application. Obviously the Z motor gets much better cooling, that's why you have an increased power rating there for the Z, but in reality you can drive as many watts as you like through this within reason, and being careful and knowing what you're doing. Here we have the coil. This is actually labelled up as a Z woofer coil, and this is the same coil which is in this 9500 series. It is very, very thick. It is fiberglassed here, which makes really improves the heat capacity of this. It's flat wind. The glues which it uses are the highest temperature available, so it is very, very difficult to thermally damage a Digital Designs woofer in this way. So not only is this woofer already badass, you then have a composite cone. This is a fully carbon composite cone option from DD. So the cone itself and the dust cap, all of the moving solid parts are composite. They are rigid beyond belief. No matter what you do, this will not deform by a fraction of a millimeter at 150, 160 dBs, whatever you like. This is completely solid and it looks absolutely stunning as well. You have the blue logo here against a black dust cap, and then underneath the underside of it is the yellow composite colour there. It is a beautiful piece of work. Now not only do you have the composite cone, the stupidly huge motor, the stupidly high temperature coil, but you also have the fact that this woofer is supercharged. Now the supercharging option that DD offer adds a huge lump of neodymium magnet to the pole of the magnet here, so that actually the coil then has increased magnetic forces applied to it from a neodymium thing on the actual pole. And the way that you can tell a DD woofer is supercharged, not only by the fact that it will say SC under here, also if you take something magnetic, for example I have an Allen key here, you place it on the cone, it'll actually stand completely upright. You can do that with paper clips or hair clips or anything, and that then shows that there is they have the neodymium magnet there underneath, sitting on the pole. And the fact that you have this much magnetic flux all the way up here above the dust cap, just imagine how much magnetic force there is sitting around that coil. And because of the added motor force that you get from supercharging a subwoofer like this, it is ideal for situations where you have a smaller box size than usual, you have tight spaces. The extra motor force can really help drive out that added air pressure from the box through the port, for example, and also it increases efficiency as well. So if you want this badass woofer and you haven't quite got the electrical system to compensate, you need to drive a lot of watts into this, you can actually get louder on less power by having the supercharge option, because it just adds a lot more magnetic force there without having to add more watts. You get the same amount of power to the cone. Now again, this is the first time that I will have powered this woofer up, so I'm going to run it very gently. I think it's actually got a super stiff spider option, and this stiffens up the spider even more than the standard and that gives it a higher FS, and it also allows you to drive more watts into it before it loses control of its, of the cone and stuff. You can really go crazy with it, and you can also use this in a larger box. So the super extra stiff spider coupled with the supercharge option works really well. You can put it in a big box, get stupidly loud dBs, and the woofer still stays well in control. Everything is accurate, and it sounds fantastic. Oh my goodness, that is barely any power at all from the amplifier gains. Already moving a lot. Wow! Who said DD can't drop low? That was a very powerful low note from this. So heavy, I can't hardly hold it. Oh, bloody hell. Oh my gosh. Absolutely wonderful. I could sit there and watch that move all day. It is so powerful. You can just feel it. You can feel the amount of force that this whole kind of motor and coil assembly has. There's no way on earth anything could stop that cone moving to its full potential there. No matter how much air pressure there is in a box, that is going to drive through it and just produce more and more and more dBs and more power you give it. Absolutely stunning piece of artwork here. The 95 series comes in a 10, 12, 15 and 18, and obviously you have a variety of choices, options here. You have soft spiders for small boxes and low FS, standard spiders, extra stiff spiders for large boxes. You have supercharge option, you have composite cone or just composite cap option with a variety of colours. You can customise these woofers, you can even have a painted basket, etc. So you can really customise the woofer to your exact requirements and it'll excel whatever you do with it.